Yeah, I seen a few $100.
Why don't we just have lunch and talk? We can do that, right?
How's Karen and the kids?
Okay. They ask about you. Is there step up next week? And I know they'd love you.
You're guilt tripping me, all right?
No, I'm just saying.
I feel horrible about myself.
I know they wanted you to be there, that's all.
I'm sorry, Dad. I just need some fucking money, all right? So please just give me some fucking money.
Where does this end?
I gotta see this one through. This is kind of working out for me right now. I got 5 days sober.
It doesn't look like it's working out, Nick.
Oh, it doesn't look like it's working out? So what, then therapy, huh?
You can come home.
No, that
we'll
wouldn't...
make it work, please, Nick. Please.
Felix, I'd love to ask about how you ended up casting these two men.
The first time I talked with Steve had the same approach. We wanted to approach this very pure and very close to, keep it close to himself. And, it's amazing that Steve wanted to go there because it's super vulnerable and tough. It's a tough role, I think, but because it's done with such power. There's so much internal going on. Casting it for me is like falling in love, and with an idea of an actor playing a certain kind of role, and then from that you can start working. We rehearsed for a couple of weeks, and it was great to build trust between us and a safe place, and and then just go at it.
Steve and Timothy, I wonder if you could talk to me about reading this script, what you made of it for the first time, and how involved David and Nick were in this process. I mean, did you speak to them before you started the film?
I met David, and it wasn't a meeting in which I was trying to probe him for information, answers, and try to see how he ate food, and it was because I didn't want to mimic him. I just wanted to get to know a little bit about him. So we spent a bit of time together. And when I was sent the script, obviously I related to it. I have teenagers, and it's something that terrified me. The thought of a child spiraling into that and having no recourse is a really horrible idea, and it's very relevant, and I just figured it was something that I wanted to be a part of.
Reading the script, it feels very urgent in the United States right now. This is a big crisis, not particularly with methamphetamine, but with opiates. A lot of young people are getting addicted and lost to this disease, and so I felt an urgency in that regard. Also, I didn't have a career at this point, so this was a job, And then as far as an approach goes, yeah, I really like what Steve said. Like, I think so much of the work of an actor is doing your proper research, but in that research, you almost get license, almost, and that's the experience I had with Nick when I ate with him. Was we were doing one of these Q&As, and somebody said, like, what was it like to inhabit a dark soul like that? And it made me smile, because that's not my experience with him. He's a human. And then that was almost my through line in. I thought, okay, I don't have to self-servingly play a drug addict. I must play a human who is addicted to drugs.
The film's based on two sides of this story, essentially, but we don't see things from different perspectives in the film. I mean, we just follow the story. Luke, tell me about the process of adapting it. How did that work when you're adapting 2 books as opposed to 1 book?
For Felix and I, it was always a process of boiling it down, finding a way of making the 2 separate books feel like one single film with one narrative and a sort of 2 sides of one coin narrative going on. It's strange for me to be here because my agents brought the project to me, and I read the books and I recognized their power and their authenticity. I second everything that Felix said about the emotional journey that the books take you on. And I was broke, but I had written Candy, the novel, and the film 10 years earlier. It was based on my own experience as a heroin addict in my 20s. And I decided not to take the job. Like, I read the books, and then I said to my agent, I don't want to write another film 10 years later about drugs. And she said, okay, fine, I accept that, but go and take the meeting with Plan B anyway, because they're a really good company and you should take the meeting. 4 days before that meeting, Philip Seymour Hoffman died. And the night before the meeting, my father wrote me an email, just randomly said, did you hear about Philip Seymour Hoffman? That's really sad. Luke, sometimes I feel this family is so blessed. And he was talking about his awareness of the tenuousness of recovery and addiction and my own experience. The email made me cry, and then I just thought maybe this is a message that I should try and go for this job. Because in Candy, I never dealt with my relationship with my father because it was too emotionally problematic to deal with in the novel and the film. And so then I thought, okay, maybe this is a message from the heavens, and I went for the job, and I was lucky enough to get it and be sitting here now.